Hey everyone, in this video we will talk about the CodeGen approach and its workflow. So as the name suggests, CodeGen automatically generates React code for us which we can maintain in our Git repository and create PRs, review them and deploy them to production. So it's an advanced use case meant to be used by developers to create medium to large scale applications which involve complex state and interactions. So if you are building a normal marketing site or a website that has static data, then you should use the headless API approach. But if you are aiming to develop a complex application, for example, a chat application which involves a lot of state and interactions, similarly, any kind of medium to large scale application, then you should opt for CodeGen approach. So let's see the workflow of CodeGen. As usual, the first step is to design component in the Plasmic Studio. So you have to log into your Plasmic Studio and create a project. So let's assume we have created a basic component button, and you can even preview it and test it out here. But the next step is to decide whether you want to go for Headless API and CodeGen. So in this video, as we are discussing about the CodeGen approach, let's see what happens afterwards and get this button component into our code base. So the first thing that we need to do in our code base is to install a Plasmic CLI, which will help us fetch the component from the Plasmic Studio and sync it into our code base. So the difference is when we execute the Plasmic sync command, then the Plasmic CLI will download and sync the new changes from the Plasmic Studio inside our code base. So for each new component that we add in Plasmic Studio, Plasmic actually sync down 3 files for each component. So let's assume we have created a button component. So for that particular button, Plasmic generates 3 particular files. The one mentioned in yellow are Plasmic generated. As a developer, we don't actually touch those files, and it also provides one wrapper component that is written in the green, the button.jsx. So the hierarchy looks something like this. We have a button.jsx. Inside the button, Plasmic returns the Plasmic button.jsx, and it internally uses the Plasmic button.css. So as a whole package, we get a button component just like a plain React code, and we can import it into rest of our application just like we do import button from any other library and use them in our project. So just to repeat the whole process, the first step is that we have a Plasmic CLI installed in our code base. It is used to sync changes from the Plasmic Studio, and for each component that we created in our Plasmic Studio, Plasmic actually sync down 3 particular files for that component. 2 of them are used particularly for the Plasmic. That is, as a developer, we don't even touch those particular files. And 1 file is provided as a wrapper component, which we can then later use in our application, just like we do use any other component from NPM libraries like Material UI and Bootstrap. So I hope this helps, and thank you for watching.